Hello everybody, how are you guys? High Flyers Tag Team back here with another news and update again today. Today could be a kind of a big one, not that big of a deal. I'll let you guys determine it. Today was originally going to be a quite different kind of video, but good thing this came out first. I will probably just delay that video. I'm not going to say what it is yet. But what's this video about? Well, as of today, by the time I'm posting this, so it'll probably been yesterday, so it kind of been old news, but as of yesterday, for those who are watching it, whenever it's uploaded, it was announced that the new James Bond movie will indeed be coming out November 25th, 2020, 5 days after GvK releases. This is reportedly due to the coronavirus, and which isn't something to take lightly, but that's reportedly the reason why. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. It would make sense with a lot of Chinese theaters being shut down right now. Italy theaters getting ready to be shut down. But what's this mean for GvK? Because GvK now has box office rivals from multiple angles. We're going to have The Eternals coming out that month, which, who knows how that film's going to do. It's Marvel. There's a good chance it could do pretty well. There's a good chance that it possibly just doesn't do that well at all. I don't see that being very likely it doesn't do well. It'll probably be the next Guardians. We have Rayla, or whatever it's called, that animated movie coming out. Clifford the Big Red Dog. I don't know any other big names now, other than the James Bond new movie, which has marketing and stuff already, so it's going to lose momentum going in November. So it's kind of a weird choice to delay it till then. But so, what does this all mean? Well, first things first, if GvK does stay in November, this could possibly mean trouble or not mean anything. The reason why, this will give opening weekend. GvK will still have a free opening weekend to make the majority of its money. That all comes down to how well it does. It's like a Thanksgiving weekend movie. So, it's not for sure how well it's going to do. But, I mean, it has a chance of doing well. The next problem, though, it's going to have to deal with competition. So, Internals will probably have multiple people that are fans going to see it like 20 times. That could hurt GvK's box office if they never just decide to take some of that money and put it in GvK. And then 5 days after that, we're going to get a mixture of the Raywa movie, or however it's pronounced, the Dragon animated movie by Disney. And then now James Bond. I don't remember when the Dragon movie comes out, but James Bond's 5 days later. So that's quite a bit of competition right there. Shockingly. So, this could really hurt the GvK box office. I don't know. They might hold their guns, though, and who knows, it could do really well. There's some movies that go heavy against competition and do fine, but who knows. The next thing that could happen is GvK could get its date changed once again. Three great times everyone's theorizing is August, September, and December. 2021 is out of the picture. I found out tonight Shinji Iguchi, if you don't know who he is, I probably pronounced it wrong, but if you don't know who that is, one of Shin Godzilla's directors, apparently a few years ago at G-Fest, confirmed that the contract for Godzilla with Legendary ends this year, so they are not allowed to release any, new Monsterverse movies with Godzilla, or Godzilla characters and stuff, beyond this year. This is the last year we can get Monsterverse movies with Godzilla in them, unless they renew the contract. So, the thing about that is, they have to release it this year. It has to come out this year. There's no way around it. Unless they want to spend tons of money to renew the contract, it's settled. 2020 has to be the release date. Or it just gets canned, which there's no way. But, so right there, keep that in the back of your head. 2021 is not a possible release date. And, they have to do it in a way, because the contract's going to end, so they have to really play their cards wisely. So, what are the options? Well, August that would be a pretty decent month. It's really empty right now. I don't believe until it's the end of the month that real competition would come with a movie, I think Bill and Ted or something, Bill and Terry. I forget what it's called. And there's another movie coming out that are like nostalgic. If Godzilla comes out at the beginning of the month, it will have its run note just fine. So that's always a good sign. It could come out early. And then there's September, which depends on when it comes out. It could also still deal with the aftermath of those movies if they do really well. I believe there's one movie coming out that month. I forget what movie it is. There's only one movie coming out that month, though, that would really be competition. But I don't see that being, like, major competition compared to, like, the internals and stuff. And then the last month option is December. The problem with December is there's several movies coming out that month around that time. But again, I don't see them being much of an issue. These movies include Dune and Tom and Jerry live action. The thing about both these movies, though, is that they're both owned and distributed by Warner Brothers. So Warner Brothers could easily just say, hey, these movies need delayed. I feel like it would be a lot easier to delay those movies. You can push those movies in 2021. You can't push GvK into 2021. So if they decided to push those movies 2021, it would leave the landscape fairly open for GvK to really succeed in December, or just make the most of it. It could be a problem. I don't know how well it'll do in a month like that. Star Wars and stuff usually does really well in a month like that, and I believe Jumanji did really well, the second one. The only other competition I know, I believe January, there's a new Mortal Kombat movie coming out, but that's not a threat at all. Don't worry about it. So there you go right there. That's the big options. The only options other than that is possibly something like HBO Max, but that's about 100% out of the question. I don't see that happening at all. Or, like I said earlier, they could possibly renew the contract, release it in 2021, and move it to March, where the only competition would be like the Tomb Raider sequel and Uncharted live-action movie. So, right there, that's basically all the things could be delayed. The next problem, though, you can move the dates anytime, so it doesn't face much competition. But any movie with the coronavirus being an issue could easily get delayed to that around that same time. It could be possible that Godzilla comes out in August, and they're like, "Hey, Hobbs and Shaw did good in August," so then they push Fast and Furious 9 into August. That wouldn't be too good. It wouldn't shock me if Universal, seemingly being kind of spiteful right now against the Monsterverse and Warner Brothers, as a conversation for a different time, but yeah, they kind of seem to be a little bit spiteful right now. So that could be the first problem, is that another movie would just get pushed there anyways and do heavy competition with it anyways, especially since a lot of movies don't seem to be afraid to really deal with it. I'd say that'd be the biggest problem. Plus, you got to redo all the marketing and stuff, and there's so many numbers stuff that go into it. They could let it just remain and stick to their guns and release in November. There was a really good chance that it could, or not really good, but there's still a chance it could do really well. The thing about it is that the Bond movie with the Bond fans is apparently extremely split right now or something. And there's a good chance that it won't do amazing. Like, it'll do good, but not amazing with the general audience. So while it still would affect GvK's numbers, it wouldn't be as extreme as like something like Fast and Furious 9. Internals, I don't believe has a ton of hype behind it. It has a really good cast. It's going to bring in some numbers, but I don't believe the hype is crazy for it. The comic book kind of thing, like, people, ever since Endgame's happened, it's kind of died down a little bit. People don't seem to be as excited about comic book movies since Endgame was like the be-all, end-all. I'm not saying they're going away or anything. I'm just saying it might not do as well. And then movies like Raywall and stuff, they're for children. So, the thing about that is that, you know, there's so many different genres there that it really wouldn't be an issue. I would say the big issue is if they move it into if they do end up moving into another month, then another company just screw it. We know it's very likely that the VFX need a little bit more time to be done, especially since what Adam posted recently. I believe someone said about 50% of the VFX are done, which kind of weird if he says he needs just a few more months, but just depends when they started working on them, I guess. So that's about it for this video. That's the big news. Godzilla might be going up against Spawn. That's all my theories and approaches to it. What do you guys think? Are you worried about it? Do you think GvK should be delayed, moved, pushed, whatever? The contract should be resigned? Are you against anything I said? Is there any theory, anything at all? Your guys' thoughts on this? I would love to hear it. Please let me know down in the comments below. I love to hear them and even kind of communicate with you guys through them sometimes. Or it can really give some really cool ideas and stuff. What's your guys' thoughts on this? Are you worried? Are you afraid? You not care? You know, anything. Just let me know down in the comments below. As always, I hope you enjoyed. Everyone, have a great night. As always, peace. High Flyers Tag Team, out. Bye-bye.